Yes, everybody, welcome back to the XG Files. Ronaldo and Ben is back. Yes. Comments was a little bit split last week about whether to bring you back.
No, fuck off now.
Just do everyone. And everyone will be happy then, I guess, won't they? All right.
Yeah, this ting or is it Lil?
Lil?
Fizzy. Got burn in my throat, man. Just got like a weird ting.
Honestly, this isn't an act. Like
weird ting.
But you've just had a can of Lil.
Not even a can, bottle.
A bottle.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the XG Files. I have got some right good stuff that I want your opinion on, which I might get straight into, but I think people was complaining that we're not talking enough football. Now, there's not really been a lot to talk about because all that's been happening is transfers and pre-seasons, which is wank.
Well, is the expected goals Files?
All right, yeah, true. How many expected goals did you have at the week? Oh, so by the way, Paddock won 11-0 in my absence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's slightly embarrassing because you know what? Makira was like, what scores the game? I said 11-0. He said, how much did you score? I said 1. He said, that's terrible. I was like, agreed.
Was it a penalty as well?
No, it wasn't. It was actually the best goal of the day, to be honest.
Yeah. But there's no cameras to...
I think Will would agree. You'd agree, Will, innit? But probably best goal of the day.
Do you agree, Will?
No, I don't.
As was a volley one.
Oh, I didn't remember Azan's. That was a perler.
Azan scored that trick in 18 minutes, and I went, "Was that?" Because I've not seen the game. Obviously, there's no cameras there. Adam texted me the night before and goes, "Pre-season's been doing shit for views, so we just wait until we're back playing like league matches before we start putting the highlights in again." And I went, "Yeah, go on then." And then we win fucking 11-0. It's like a month's worth of goals in an afternoon.
But did you phone in any tactics or anything?
No.
That'll be why then.
Oh, shut up. They clearly played a team that was not on our level, didn't they? I think that's just the top and bottom of it.
Yeah, but you played teams not on your level before and you struggled.
This is true.
So what would you say, Ronnie?
11-0. He scores 1. Azan scores that trick in 18 minutes in the second half. And I went, Jesus, like, was that in 3 shots? Thinking, how many shots you getting in 18 minutes? He went, I had about 7. I was like, what?
No, I did. No, what was the worst part of it, though? It's like, it's 11-0, but I scored the first one. So I'm thinking at that point, and it wasn't like it was my first chance of the game. They were like, and
it was early and all.
It was 30th minute. They were literally penned in from the start, and the fullback, I just literally kept walking past him to the point where I'm driving into the box, and it's just me and the keeper. But it's like slightly tight, you know, the angle that I'm going from, and I've hit it, and the keeper's just about got his toe on it. I've come in again, and I've shot from a similar angle, and the keeper's just about blocked it as well. I've just realised I could just score twice here in like the first 7 minutes.
Do you not think of putting it in a different corner?
That's what I got to. I cut in, and then I've literally just bended it. Stanch. I'm like, rah, that's definitely a fluke, innit? Because I beam everything over. But I'm thinking, there's literally an opportunity, 1-0, like the way this game's gone, I could score a few here. But I felt like almost embarrassed to try and score more.
Yeah.
Because against the opposition. I actually felt, because the right back was a good lad, but I can tell he don't really play football, and I felt sorry for him.
Well, Will was going
So what league do they play in then?
I don't know. It's Manchester Cup, like Jolly Carter in it. So like, there's all sorts of teams of wildly varying ability, clearly, that are in it. And I had a look at some of the scores last time. There were some games that was like 20-something nil last time, and you're like, right, are they mega, or have they played like
MUFC?
What have they played? So obviously it's people that have entered it for probably the same reasons we entered it, really. Now, I think it's been a pretty good cup to enter. We've had fixtures every week through pre-season. It's going to get funky next week, or in the next few weeks when we're still playing in this cup and the league started.
How's that going to work? So who set the Manchester Cup up?
It's just a private company.
Oh, right.
So it's a private company. He hires out the venues. He hires them out for the entire day.
Oh, you just say like, yeah, you're playing here today.
Yeah, and he just gives you the fixtures. Like, there was a couple of lads that was moaning about it, going, "Oh, I don't like the guy. Like, oh, I've heard bad things and this, that, and the other." And you're like, well, from my point of view, they organised the ref, although they didn't organise the ref this week. They organised the opposition. They organised the venue. All you got to do is pay your money and turn up. I was like,
just minutes, innit?
And that's exactly all you need in pre-season. Like, I don't put a lot of emphasis on what anyone does. Do you want to talk in the mic?
No, but obviously you just sound like you was off and I didn't understand what you.
No, I was saying like people put a lot of emphasis on what goes on in pre-season. It's there for fitness. It's there for minutes. That's all it's there for.
Yeah.
Well, you need to win a trophy. You do, man. Pressure's on, innit?
He texted me after the BT Cup thing, like, oh,
You've had the backing.
We basically played that team and
Definitely. Fucking hell, you got the Harlem Globetrotters and you still can't win fuck all.
It's not true.
Literally, actually, got to look at the management, innit?
That's what
You've had
Look at you. How many goals you scored last year?
Embarrassment of riches.
How many goals did you score last year?
3. Oh, no, 4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, disruption, I want it. Disruption.
He's going on like it was a fucking 50-game season. Played about 13 games.
You should have done better, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like 4 goals and
How many penalties?
2.
We played 16 games.
So 4 goals, 7 assists, and 16 games. It's not terrible, but I expected more goals.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
I
it's
don't
not
know
even.
why.
It's not even like I've got the excuse of chances and that. Remember, you'd know there's quite a few games where I had 1v1s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like
the best one was Hadfield at home at Droylsden.
Yeah.
He's gone through. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper, and then Ronaldo
Shanked it.
No, he just sort of like I don't
Didn't
even know
shoot.
what
He
did.
felt like he didn't shoot.
He like control alt deleted himself in his brain, and then just kind of stood there for a little bit, and then.
And the one against it was an Abacus Media. It was the team we played before Abacus, so I've gone in and I've just hit straight at the keeper, 1v1. And then there was another one against Epsom Town. Remember where Thingy's played me over? Gabby.
Oh yeah.
I've just passed back. I've got bare one. It was one of them where I feel like this season or.
Do you remember when Farky used to go through 1-on-1
Yeah.
and you didn't even get excited because you'd be like, well, he's going to fuck this up, innit?
Or he'd take on about 6 people and.
Yeah, so
put
our
him
mate
back in
Dave,
there.
he used to, he had sick dribbling technique. Different to yours, because yours is.
He's more like a Paolo one-chop, wasn't he?
Him.
No, Farky.
Oh, Farky was, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
Unpredictable.
Valencia. Like, he does. I'm going to start telling fullbacks, you know. I'm going to stand right in front
Nothing
of you.
like Valencia.
Well, Valencia, stand them up and go around the outside. What do? Step over, go around the outside every fucking time. Am I right?
I'm starting to go inside a little bit more. But
Yes, Steve, you're right.
But you've not listened to a word I've ever said to you about me and my football. I'm not great when it comes to shooting. So that's why I've never been inclined to go inside. And what happens when I actually beat people and go inside? What happens to my shots?
Yeah, you scored 2 points for Wigan.
Exactly. So
what I'm hearing here is like poor management, poor man management, poor tactical management.
Where else you play him? Can't play him as 9 because his shooting's his worst aspect. He
Yeah.
actually does pull some assists together if he goes around the outside. Yeah. So you got to play him on the wing.
it's always been my worst attribute. Like always.
And it for a
shooting.
winger, innit?
So it's like he's one of them. But I feel like those chances I missed last season, I feel like I'd be more inclined. I feel like I'd score him now. I do feel like I'm a lot sharper now than I was throughout the early stages of the season last season.
Well, when did you stop playing football for a while?
Yeah, I didn't, but I feel like I'm even like stamina wise. I think I'm all right now. I've got back into it.
Can we talk about where you've been last night? Do you want to talk about where you've been last night?
Well, Ramsbottom. Yeah,
I wasn't going to name the team, but okay.
Yeah, I was there.
So Ramia, Northern Premier,
Yeah.
step 3.
I don't know what step. Good though. Good tempo. It was a good training session. It was there's a lot of leggy running involved. It was just 2 hour training session, but it's like the full 2 hours.
So
Yeah.
the conversation we had was, all right, actually, let's go back to that. What's the one thing I complain about with you the most?
Running in behind.
Right.
They literally said they play percentage football. So it's one of them where it's not like
On the
coming
shoulder,
there
see
thinking.
later,
So guess what they want him to do?
running behind.
Basic.
Yeah, but that's like a
Didn't say that. They basically said because what happens is
Comes
that
to feet all the
at
time.
Northern Prem football, right? If you're playing 4-3-3 and you're playing percentage football, I've played in percentage football before. That's what you're not getting. We played that at Oldham
Yeah,
for
but
2
you
years.
don't play it for me.
Because I can take it to. It's not playing.
I know you
Oldham's
can
under
take it to
18s.
feet.
Oldham's under 18s football and the league we're in. It's not not comparable to
I
football.
know you
So
can
that-
bring it to feet. I don't want you to take it to feet. I want you to stretch and get it
Respectfully, respectfully, you're saying that as if we've got fucking Ryan Leonard or Alex Reid in midfield that I had. Oh, we don't have that.
I
caliber.
understand.
So I'm saying-
However,
but it's not.
just can you do it one
Yeah,
in
but-
4 times for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but who have you got putting the balls in behind?
We
Though?
got a good midfield now.
Yeah, but Did he do it regularly though?
Yeah, I mean, we got Cam's for being a full-on widge. It's got a lot better. And at the start of last season, he was well frustrated. He'd hold on to it long.
No,
Now
he's
he lets it go.
improved. He's improved so much on that. He's actually listening now, Cam.
Yeah, just you're not.
He's releasing a baller. Luxury player. Luxury player. I do what I like.
Dedicated dickhead, team dickhead.
Yeah.
7 luxuries.
Fucking hell. Well, not anymore. No, it's quite a hard-working team now. So, I don't know. This season, it's going to be a tough season for us because we've just got put in the Prem. We've played 6 of them. We've only won 2 out of the ones that we faced. So,
as I said, pressure's on me. The board is going to start.
I am the fucking board.
Well, you know.
You just
I'm treasurer.
Can I wipe out on the board? Yeah,
can I?
I overruled you. So.
That sounds familiar. That fucking hell. That's what Janine says, isn't it?
So, yeah, it's a tough season for us this season. Him being on trial. So Parker's gone to Ramsbottom as assistant manager. Obviously, he was our statesman centre half last season. I think we're solid in the core. I think centre half and in midfield, I think we're all right. We can probably cover Parker's loss. Not in experience. We haven't got anywhere near the experience that he's got, but we can cover. Especially
who's the
younger
oldest
legs.
now then?
Don't even know.
It's a random question, isn't it? Though.
I know,
it's like a proper general.
No, but he's saying about
Actually, to be fair, it should be obvious.
experience.
Eddie?
Do you know what I mean?
Eddie, he's like 25.
It's just like game
Alex
management.
24 somehow.
I think it might be Eddie. Eddie's a bit of experience. He came through United.
Yeah, I know him. He's played D1 in America.
Yeah.
Not a bad standard. But yeah, I think he's probably the oldest name. But it's interesting to see what happens in this season. I know you. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I know you were saying not particularly about Paddock FC, but I've actually not found out because you said it before you wanted to speak about it. But what is you definitively predicting for the club you actually support, other than Stretford Paddock FC?
United this season.
United. Because I was having an argument with him, could get onto, could not to, about the Farmers League thing with France and all that. He hates that debate. I messaged him, he aired it about the start. But as for United, it's weird because I'm optimistic, but I'm optimistic in a sense where us doing well still might not be enough because of what we're up against.
We've took some giant leaps forward, but we haven't got a longer stride.
Yeah,
There's 2 other clubs that have took forward.
Yeah, but Sancho should have been signed last season. So, in effect, we've only signed one player who's going to come in and change the team.
I said that earlier.
So for as much as like they spent the money and they spent it well, there's still
It ain't enough.
there's nowhere near enough. Not especially when fucking hell City have just gone out and spent that on Grealish and then like
Who might not even start. I mean, he will.
well,
But
what's he going to play? He's going to play like 65% of the games. Isn't he?
You're telling me £100 million player is not starting?
no, he
You
will
must have
start,
lost
won't he?
your
But like they're having a
Yeah, but they've got
bench
50 million
Mahrez or whoever.
players that don't start. Yeah.
Mate,
That don't
Nathan
even
Aké
get
was a
enough.
myth last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
John Stones was a myth until like they partnered him with Diaz.
No club is spending £100 million on a player and not starting him, especially when you're the caliber of Jack Grealish.
No, that's true. But like,
He's starting.
Yeah, he's class, man.
He's starting left wing all season for them.
I think he's
I
coming
don't.
over
Yeah,
Sterling.
I don't think Sterling's going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think he rates Sterling.
I don't. Well, I think there's problems there.
Reckon?
100%. I think he in one of his interviews with England during the Euros, I'm sure he said something about Pep. Like there was issues there. And I've heard things as well.
Yeah, I've heard. It's well known. He's my guy. I've not heard anything close to him or from him because he's not the type to do that. But he doesn't seem like Pep and him are a bit. Yeah.
But there's loads of players that.
Oh, you just remember the last time you saw Sterling.
Yeah.
He asked him if he wanted a Paddock shirt. True story, 100% true story.
Well, they say no, obviously.
And he went, "What's that?" And he went, "Never mind." And kept
Yeah.
it moving.
Because he was like, he was in yours bar, innit? And I know him from Liverpool days, so I only saw him on a weekend as well. But it's like, he's sat down. It's not like it was a sense where I could have an extended conversation with him. So
you just
I
went
said
over
it out.
there.
I said it quite. No, he's just gone over to say hello, innit? Because
Yeah,
he was with
yeah,
Kira.
yeah,
Kira
yeah.
knows him as well. And he just said, like, yo, what you saying? Da, da, da. And then I must have said it, but I said it quite. And he's barely heard what I'm saying. I was like, what? And he's like, oh, you want Paddock shirt? He's barely looked so confused. He's like, what?
Yeah, I would be so confused. I'm just sat here chilling,
Yeah.
just fucking saying, all right. And then next thing he's like,
Just said,
yeah,
never
do you want
mind,
this?
innit?
Yeah, never mind. What? Nothing.
Never mind.
But he's supposed to be a United fan, isn't he? Which is wild for
Supposedly.
someone who came through
Well,
Liverpool.
he's not going to be a Paddock fan then, is he?
No, he's not, clearly. But
It's almost like he barely heard what I said. I was like, I said it quite definitively, but it just seemed like he had no clue what I was on about. But,
So I think, he probably, the easy move for him is to replace Sterling, in it, which means the rest of City's midfield is going to be what? De Bruyne, Gundogan, Fernandinho, and then on the other side,
Mahrez.
Where's Foden play?
Well, Foden's out for a bit, isn't he now? I think
De Bruyne's out as well, isn't he?
Foden might be out until after the international break, I think. I
mean, it's not like they're going to struggle.
But they might struggle to score. Well, there's goals everywhere, but they're not going to play...
where does Sterling go, though? Because
he's on like 400 grand a week, isn't he?
Nah, and Sterling...
Well, there was two things that I heard, but one of them's gone now because he just signed Messi.
Oh, if Sterling could have gone PSG.
Yeah, but I can't really say on...
No, but
where the other one is.
But realistically, Sterling he actually is at a status and caliber of player where a PSG move is a move that he could do.
No, it's wild because I think those that watch him regular, I'm not impressed with him, mate.
No,
I'm not.
I think his movement is like class. The way that he moves, creates space for other players. It's just like Ronaldo in the final third. Shooting's probably not his best attribute.
What are you bouncing about with now?
Just my legs, innit?
Because he always looks like he's...
So I don't get cramp.
Trip up, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I think...
Nah, Sterling's good, man.
Yeah, he's good.
The thing is...
He's not elite, though.
No, but he's performed, especially statistically, at an elite level for a long time.
But that gets masked by playing for City. Like, you could look like that at City.
No, I'm not as good as Raheem Sterling.
Okay, fine. I'll agree with you on that. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a little bit of masking of attributes a little bit. Tom Cleverley looked fantastic playing for United in that midfield when he was playing week in, week out. Was he fantastic?
Just because he was next to Anderson.
I don't know what it was, but, like, we'll all agree that he did.
Cleverley's best performances came as a two with Anderson.
Yeah,
and so I wouldn't say Anderson
got done, won it against Bolton. Maybe 5-0, I think.
No, it's Cleverley got done, I think.
Oh, was it Cleverley?
Yeah, so... Sometimes you just
you're making
making
it seem like Tom Cleverley was playing in midfield with Xavi and Iniesta.
No, it wasn't. But I bet if he was playing with Xavi and Iniesta, he'd look on that level.
Yeah, he got England called up off the back of that.
Didn't he? Yeah, he started rebranding himself fucking Spanish Tom and all that shit.
Where's he playing now?
Oh yeah, he did say
that.
Watford.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he went to Watford. I heard that. Apparently, he started feeling himself a little bit Cleverly. Where
probably hard not to if you're starting week in week out for United and getting England call ups, you probably are like, I'm fucking mint.
Yeah, because you're at the top of your game, effectively, aren't you?
So I think sometimes...
There's no higher accolade, is there? Playing at the biggest club in England and plus you're playing for your country.
Like,
there's not more much...
I can't think of another example at United. Maybe someone like Makeda, maybe Januzaj. Like, when you break through, it can be easy to mask. And obviously Sterling hasn't broke through. He's been established for a long time. But I think when you're in a good team, you can be carried by what's around you a little bit.
Januzaj is a star man at Real Sociedad at the moment, though. And
they play to his strengths
and the centre forward and Isaac.
Yeah. It's not like Real Sociedad. They're not like a bottom table side in the league. I think they're like 4th or 5th.
No, they're in Europe, aren't they?
Yeah, top 6, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a top 6 side in.
They might be top 3 this year.
It's interesting though because on the Farmers League thing, you think Real Sociedad around 4th, 5th in Spain, they'd be decent. But they look so average against us.
Yeah. The first leg.
Perfect foil for us.
Yeah, because they played to our strengths, isn't it?
Perfect foil for us, I think that's just the case. Like, it's not a farmers league in the sense of, like, you're playing against literal farmers. Like, you mentioned it earlier. The Bundesliga suits a certain style of player. Like, Marcus probably scores 40, 50 fucking goals. Does Haaland type shit in Bundesliga. In the right team, obviously. Couldn't do it at Freiburg. But I still think it's the same in France. I think the bottom half in France, they come to play, a little bit like Spain where they come technically as well. They come to play, they're technical. Like, I used to have it on in there all the time because it was on BT, wasn't it? So, like, Ligue 1 was on BT all the time, and you watch it and you'd be like watching fucking, like, nonce against fucking whoever, and you're just going, these are fucking awful. Yeah, you would. These are just fucking awful.
Yeah, but you could say that about watching Burnley against...
You absolutely can. But the difference between the Prem is there's an intensity to it. And it's the same with the Championship.
Yeah, but just because you've got intensity...
this is what I mean. It's the passion merchant mentality.
No, but it makes it watchable.
No, it doesn't.
It's more watchable
I've watched some of them games, like, you know, in the Prem. Like, you try to watch all...
no, you can't watch them against each other, but you can, like, Manchester City... Probably a bad example, actually, because they do steamroller teams. those lower teams are going to make it a fight against the bigger teams, where I don't necessarily see the same thing happening in Spain and France.
Do you know why that is? Because of what you said. Very rarely do them teams actually go to the big side and do that little low block intensity.
There ain't no Spanish Neil Warnocks. That's what it is.
They go there and playing it like we said about the Bundesliga. The reason why the bottom league side will go to Bayern.
Martinez is.
We'll go to Bayern and try and play. They play
I'm
high
bottom of
line.
the league, but I'm still playing out. Like, there's no Neil Warnocks who will just fucking punch you in a changing room and be like, "No, we're fucking."
You
just
don't know that. You got like Gattuso. He's a fucking manager, isn't he? I'm sure he punches.
I didn't
people.
mention it.
It's because people. What did they say about Atletico Madrid? They think they're just the anti kind of Spanish kind of flary side, but they actually do play good football. But
Look
people
at players in their team,
painting them with that kind of brush in comparison to the rest of the teams in the league
they're the
and that
defensive
style.
mold.
Whereas Atletico Madrid in Premier League wouldn't be viewed that way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's more like,
but they get exposed in the Premier League, though, won't they?
I think.
Well, look at them in Europe.
Oh, you mean when they not Liverpool out
probably does
over two legs?
Yeah, but that was not a great Liverpool side. That
the thing is,
it was basically around the same time that they won the Champions League themselves.
Nah,
basically a season on.
Nah, after they
no, they beat them when they won the league.
Yeah, after they won the league, that was it. They were done.
Okay.
Done from there. What have they done other than like somehow? I don't know how they got to third last year from the position that they was in.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen.
And with the team that they were putting out, obviously they beat us, but we was on a sort of wind down, wasn't it, towards the Europa League final. But
it's because what we found out with Liverpool is what Liverpool have had when they've been dominant over the past few years is just a really, really, really strong starting 11.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily have good depth. So what happens is as soon as they've got one or two injuries, they're like,
What do you feel when
and
you
the
watch Liverpool?
fullbacks, isn't it? Really, because that's where the strengths. Well, and Van Dijk, because Van Dijk is essentially two men, or he can cover the fullback.
Fucking quality, innit?
When I watch
immense.
Liverpool, I actually don't. It's weird. They look like a team that.
No, do you have any sort of personal emotion watching Liverpool?
Why would I have any personal emotion?
From being a player there for so long, you not have any. There's no sort of feeling, even if it's a negative feeling towards them.
I'm not a thingy enemy. Like I'm not the United fan that hates Trent. I'm not on that brigade.
Well, you personally know him though.
Yeah, so I played with him.
Yeah, he was in his same academy team.
So I'm not looking at Trent wishing he doesn't do well, or I'm more when he does well. I'm kind of happy for him, which is weird.
Of course. Well, it's like your mate, innit?
Yeah.
So you don't want your mate to be
I'd
to
say
fail.
Mate is a strong word.
Leave Trent aside then, because obviously you know him. But when you look at Liverpool, what's your personal sort of emotion looking at Liverpool being an ex-player?
I don't have the same kind of hatred as a lot of other United fans to him. It's not like I necessarily like Liverpool, but I don't hate them as much as
they're just like vanilla.
It's just like they're a rival that I hope lose and I hope we beat, but I don't hate them. I hate Arsenal a lot more than I'd hate
Think
Liverpool.
that's because you played for them?
Probably. And there's something about Liverpool. I think even their fans I don't know about you, but their fans on Twitter, they're not as bad as the Arsenal Chelsea ones. Because he says, because I knew he was going to say that, because he said to me loads of times that the worst problem he has is the Liverpool fans. But when I'm looking at football
They're
Twitter,
fucking relentless.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans are funny because they're off the tits. So I don't mind Arsenal fans because you can't take them serious.
Yeah.
Even Joe, even people I like you can't take them serious because
there's that sense of delusion in it. Yeah,
they're just funny. Whereas Liverpool fans, Liverpool's a football club. You got to admit, they've got pedigree about it, and I fucking hate them.
Yeah, but that's because that's like
I was raised right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So you don't care about Chelsea because I think Chelsea fans are the most unbearable on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not really asked about Chelsea. I can't be.
To be Is that a modern thing then? Because they're the most successful English team in the last 20 years.
They actually are.
But then I'm not really that asked about City in that sense.
I couldn't give a fuck.
So it's more like
it is sad though, isn't it, that football has gone this way. And for all of you fucking uneducated fuckwits in the comments that are about to start typing that United spent money, we didn't. Do your fucking research. So the fact that now the European champions, the English champions, and the team that's doing a fucking absolute madness in PSG this summer are effectively owned by countries. Isn't that a bit fucked up?
And like the richest countries in the world.
It's a bit fucked up, innit?
Because you can't compete. But that's the way that it was always going to go. When you open yourself up to that.
That's not an excuse for it.
No, but it's really silly. Like the way you would have said it, sorry to cut you off, is look at other teams that are smaller teams in France, and they see PSG finish second. They get a little bit of hope from that, and then you just see them bring in Ronaldo, Donnarumma, Lionel Messi. They're thinking,
how do you compete with that? Well, especially when Lille, they had to sell some of their best players, aren't they? I think. Do you sell one of them to Leicester? Samari, was he at Lille?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's gone Leicester. Obviously,
Pepe from the other couple seasons.
It's the same with like when Monaco won it. We was talking about that before. Obviously, Mbappe went, Martial went, Falcao. There's Bernardo Silva. Yeah, Mendy.
Bakayoko.
Sidibe.
Although Mendy's not necessarily
the midfielder Bakayoko, the one that went to Chelsea.
Well, he's still at Chelsea. He's back at Chelsea.
45 loanees.
Yeah, but I see.
So wait, Monaco won a league with that squad, and then they all just went in a bit.
I think it was more
Matinho as well.
Matinho. Yeah.
Like I think they had. I think whoever was
James Rodriguez.
Madness.
The team
whoever was backing them went anyway. That was fun. Laters.
Yeah, probably. Who was it though? Who owned them? Was they Russian?
I don't know. He's not Chinese.
How much would they have got from all them?
Or maybe it was a fire sale. That's why we got like Falcao. You don't loan your best players out. You don't loan fucking Falcao out.
They didn't give.
Mate,
they didn't care, did they?
No,
they didn't care.
It had to go.
Yeah, because
you gotta go. You gotta go.
I think it's more like a bit like that's why I was thinking Russian, because like with some of these Russian Super League teams, they pump money into it, and then all of a sudden they just withdrew it.
The Chinese one, like, was it Drogba and Anelka was out there, and then he was like, anyway, you're not getting paid this week, and they're like, what? And they're
and now,
never are you.
And now they put in, Chinese Super League, they put a tax on it, haven't they? Where
no new players.
Yeah, but didn't they do it last couple of years?
It was a few years ago, because like
it was like you had to pay 100% tax on the transfer fee of foreign imports or some shit like that.
So there's no limit on what you can pay to your local Chinese players, but there was, because like when Oscar went there for like $500,000 a week,
he's still there,
yeah.
And like Igalo obviously was on 300 grand a week.
Well, Fellaini's there, isn't he?
So there was like
Hulk was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were
got
paid
a few players.
dough. So they got some big players, and then I think like
it's life changing, isn't it? Yeah, life changing money.
The bottom fell out of it, and they went, right, well, you can keep you've got a contract, because obviously you can't just say, well, you got to sell your players. So business doesn't work like that. So they said if you got a player on a contract, you can keep him, but you can't bring any new ones in.
The standard of that league must be shocking. That's a proper farmers league.
Yeah. But it won't stay like that forever if people are willing to put money into it.
No, but that goes back round to the thing we were saying about it was always going to go that way, where you get states, because states are looking for, especially Middle East and other countries, where they're looking for PR opportunities to promote their country and deflect other things like human rights issues. So that's a perfect foil to be like, oh, look what we're doing. This is how we're improving the community and the club and blah, blah, blah. And this is what we've done. That happened. The fact that we can pay people £500,000 a week or spend X, Y, Z is just secondary to them.
I'd actually love it if it was a truly competitive worldwide league. Like if China could compete. Like, so John, like when Messi came available, everyone went to go on PSG then. There was nowhere else. Maybe City, but it was a small chance. It was going nowhere else. But wouldn't it be mint if River Plate could have been like, yeah, we can pay $2 million a week, or if like Miami could have gone with, like, wouldn't it be mint if it was truly global like that, where he could have gone anywhere in the world?
Yeah, but European football is like where all the money's at, and
it's the Mecca. What I'm saying is, wouldn't it be great if the
MLS
had the same pulling power? Like if Miami had the same pulling power as Milan.
But football clubs are just like corporations in a sense, like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. So if you go buy, remember when they used to sell Virgin Cola? Remember that back in the day? You can't go buy that now, and they don't have the same promotion or the same backing or whatever as Coca-Cola do in terms of who owns them. So they just get sort of I can't think of the way, filtered away to the wayside, don't they?
I know, but all it takes is you got to do what China did. You got to pay Hulk $500,000 a week. You got to bring Fellaini in on $1 million a week.
But it's not sustainable though.
No, it's not. But you've got to sort of start like that and then transition, or you've got to have your strong domestic league. MLS started with all of the mad foreign imports. Now they don't really rely on that. They've got a good product coming through.
Yeah, they do, because that's what it's your infrastructure, isn't it? So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But China probably didn't have that infrastructure.
No.
Do you see that one where the owner's son? He came
on
and he was taking all the set pieces.
I've seen some of the academies that are out there though,
In China.
mate. So you've seen like what a college sort of facility looks like in the States, right? Yeah, forget that. Like copy paste that like 10 times, and there's just more pitches than you've ever seen in your fucking life, just full of people playing.
But that will produce results.
Just
Of course,
China.
yeah, just on a numbers game.
not
Yeah.
in the
I'm
short
doing
term.
it with, you know about
amount of
China and
people.
their economy anyway, so in a way they do things. It's not surprising that they can afford it.
But all I'm saying is, I know it's probably not realistic, but I'd love it if it'd be like, if the World Club Cup was truly competitive. If you're like, we could have been going head to head for Cavani with Boca Juniors, and it was like we both offered the same. Like if they had the sort of infrastructure and the commercial pull, because why haven't they got the commercial pull? Of why is Argentina?
You're asking why Boca Juniors does have the same commercial pull as Manchester United?
No, not necessarily.
But you're
United.
talking about things that have taken
saying, like-
years and years and years to establish. What you're hoping for would take probably a century.
Not necessarily. It wouldn't take that long. But
Probably not now, but it'd still take a long time.
Yeah.
Of course it would, yeah. But like, why
Probably
is
like 50 years at least.
Yeah.
if you can see like Midtjylland become competitive out of nowhere from the Danish league, like the infrastructure's there in Argentina. The pathway is through for players to become, internationals through those leagues.
But if they've got anything about them, they get poached by a big European club.
That's all I'm saying.
At a young age.
I understand the way the world is. I'm just saying I would love it to be where they could keep hold of their players and compete. I'd love it if Scotland was more competitive than the absolute fucking shit show that it is.
They got beat last night, didn't they, Rangers?
I don't know.
By Malmo. Yeah, they got beat by Malmo 2-1. There was 1-0 up as well, and so there was level on aggregate, and then Malmo went down to 10 men, and then he scored two in about 10 minutes in the second half.
Do you think the SPL is one of them that just suffers because of the Premier League? So, or not even just the Premier League, the leagues within English football, which are invariably better than the SPL itself. So you got the Championship, where the best Scottish players, if they're that good, they wouldn't be playing in the Scottish league.
Yeah,
They'd
but
be playing
that comes down
in
to
England.
down to money again, though, doesn't it? Because in the 80s, probably 70s and 80s,
Even in the 90s. That Rangers team in the early 90s when they pulled Gaza in. They had
Mark
Laudrup
Hateley.
there and all that lot. That was a sick team.
yeah, because they were doing well in
And
Europe.
Larson was obviously at Celtic. And
But it's just all TV money, that's all. And like the audiences that want to watch it. It's just, that's the same reason why Serie A, La Liga now are kicking off because of, Premier League has stolen this or they've done this and they're the only ones who can pay the wages and the transfer fees or what have you. It's purely down to the fact that the Premier League marketed the product properly and they had it's an even profit share in it or an even split percentage-wise of TV money dependent upon.
which is why it was, until recently, the most competitive league. In the 90s, it was way harder for United to do it's bananas what United did in the 90s, and it looks on paper uncompetitive, but it was extremely competitive. Like Fergie used to say, you could lose 6, and we'd invariably lose 5 and 6.
Yeah, we'd always be shit until not shit. That's probably
inconsistent.
Too strong. Yeah, inconsistent up until like January, and then you would kick on. Yeah. But then it was really when Jose come in, and it was now you had to start
with a win.
Yeah, start with a win. Otherwise, you're playing catch up all the time, and that's probably similar around the same time. That's where Abramovich come in and just started throwing. Well, he started throwing dough at it a little bit sooner.
So the average amount of points to win has increased, and the average amount of points taken by like 15, 16, 17, 18 has decreased. So that's how you know how competitive. If everyone, like, say the Championship, no one really gets 100 points in the Championship because it's a fucking knife fight. It's a competitive league.
Very competitive.
You can go from being like just outside the playoffs or just outside relegation in a weekend. Like that's a competitive league where truly anyone can beat anyone. Like the Premier League was marketed as anyone could beat anyone, and actually it was more like that in the 90s. It's become less and less and less and less like that. And it's not quite a farmers' league, but it's becoming predictable, way more predictable.
Yeah, because
as I told you, that's where the whole statistic comes from. Because I did say it before, since 2008.
Yeah.
The French league, which is invariably called the Farms League, has had the most different winners.
Well, yeah, you
so
look
it's
at
like
that's a one stat to base your whole thing on.
Not base it all, but it's a decent indicator of the leagues that we glorify in terms of the Premier League, and that pretty much has the same winners every single year. So how competitive is it compared to every other league?
It's less competitive than it ever was, but the top 5 or 6 are still very, very strong on a European scale. You can't really say that about Serie A or Ligue 1. You can't say the top 5 teams in Ligue 1 would compete with the top 5 teams in England because they wouldn't. Paris Saint-Germain probably lick us all at the moment. City, Chelsea aside, maybe. Although on the Paris thing, like we was chatting in here yesterday, or it might be this morning actually. What the fuck are they going to play? So go on, pick your team. Just start at the front because let's pick your team.
The team I'd pick would be left back's probably their weakest. I'd rather that Diallo play up than Bernat, and then.
So I definitely said start at the front. But all right, go on.
You just do you.
Donnarumma.
Don't worry about him.
Rude that. Donnarumma in goal.
Bold.
Like the Marvel super villain. You've got left back Diallo, so the Bernat.
Right.
And then centre half partnership. I don't fancy Kimpembe. Don't rate him.
Marquinhos and Ramos.
Pretty
good.
Right back Hakimi.
Okay.
And then midfield 3 of Verratti, Wijnaldum, and Draxler. And then
Would you not put a Di Maria in there instead?
So no Di Maria, no Herrera.
Herrera's gone on the transfer list, hasn't he, apparently?
As
of today.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. So it's news to me.
There's talks he could actually return
Nah.
for something.
Oh, didn't you do that on the news today?
Yeah.
So that's not happening.
Yeah. And,
So Draxler, Wijnaldum, Verratti, yeah?
right,
Which is
got to have some sort of balance.
Draxler's still attacking though. I'll go on, carry on.
Now, because Di Maria might lose out. You know what's weird? Di Maria's probably been up there as PSG's most consistent player over the past couple of years.
Where you playing Draxler in this? As an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, Di Maria's probably more suited to playing in that position.
As an 8?
Remember he tried...
I'd play Herrera.
You're talking about the same guy that played that role a couple of times for United.
No, I know, but
nah.
with what you've got in front of him, go on, carry on.
Obviously, we know the front 3 is going to be Messi, Neymar and Mbappe.
Yeah. No, not Cardi, no.
No,
What
not
about
Icardi.
Choupo-Moting? Is he still there?
Yeah, well,
Choupo-Moting, he'll probably end
show
up
some
at,
respect.
probably end up at Juventus or something. I think he's been at every big club in Europe.
He's done
somehow.
well, man.
From Stoke,
Yeah, from Stoke.
his agent needs a fucking handshake and a burger, mate. Honestly. So, all right. So you went different to what I thought, because I thought you'd probably throw Di Maria in there.
I want to throw Di Maria. You know why?
And the other 3. But I think if you do throw Di Maria and them 3, you're getting overrun. And I think Verratti gets overrun in midfield. I think you need to play him in a 3.
Well, that is a sort of free,
People
innit?
don't understand
also,
how
Verratti-
people do not
Verratti's
understand how
like-
good this
yeah.
Verratti guy is.
No,
I know,
I know how good Verratti is. But in a 2, he's getting lost, mate. He's getting with that.
I'm not.
Messi
I'm not
ain't
agreeing with
working,
that.
right? And that's fine. If you got Messi, I ain't asking him to press. I ain't asking him to track.
To be fair,
to be
fair to Poch, he did have Mbappe and Neymar like working back, didn't he?
They're
last
still
year?
young though.
You're acting as if
Neymar's like 29, isn't he?
Still young. It's not Messi, is it?
What's
Messi's going to stand at the top of it, and that's fine because he'll score 50 goals, so it's cool. But let's be real about ourselves, how it's going to work.
What do you think's going to happen if Messi plays for PSG, first 3 games, you don't score?
Right, well, for starters, that's not happening.
No, but
It's just not happening, is it?
And he's on a mil a week.
right,
If he does, I'm just going to take the piss out of Pochettino till it gets boring.
because imagine Pochettino gets known as the guy that ruins Messi. Anyway,
Pochettino's basically like you.
No, he's not. I've got nothing like a fucking
my days,
team like
what-
him.
that's
I mean?
I've got
comparison.
Ronaldo, not Messi.
Listen, but realistically, I'm actually I think Mbappe scores more next season because he's playing with Messi.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because
He's going to double mark that little
Yeah,
cunt,
yeah.
aren't you?
No, but I'm
I'll
thinking
leave him free.
but it's not. Oh no, it's not just about Messi's goals. You know how good of a passer he is.
Yeah,
He's a ridiculous passer.
Yeah, he
Half as
Vision,
many
you can just
assists as he's got
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
But it's like if you watch prime Messi, a lot of think about the amount of like left wingers or wingers he's kind of made score like an extra 8 or 10 goals because of his 3 balls.
Neymar and Suarez, the 3 of them leveled up together.
I think exactly. I think I remember watching Messi. He made Christian Tail. Remember him? He made him score 20 goals in a season because
he's had that Martin Braithwaite and
Yeah.
playing up front as well for
If you're
Barca.
playing against Messi, he draws.
and he'll find you
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you make a
and
running
he's got
behind.
a sick pass. So, like, if you run off him,
You run, yeah.
like you're
If
gonna be
running
in
behind
acres.
Ronnie,
Remember,
you'd be right.
remember David Villa left wing when Messi was getting
David
on
Villa
it?
was a good player.
Yeah, he was good.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like how much.
So
He's played with some right players. Him.
Hakimi,
Yeah.
not as much maybe Diallo as Bernat, but like he's got 2 pretty attacking fullbacks.
So you maybe pay 5-2-3 then,
So you see,
I don't
and
know
then
what he's gonna play.
and you play that
Hakimi
Kimpembe.
scored on his debut as well. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
And he was one of them where he's right back and he's basically made a run into the box from because you don't play like a right
I
back.
like
But that's probably why you'd have to
He's
do
an
it.
absolute baller.
Have
Should
to
you
do
see
it
him
as a
finish?
wing back, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for all you lot that fucking were trying to play the guessing game on Twitter ages ago when I was talking about the United fan that met Matt Judge and Matt Judge didn't know who he was, it was Hakimi.
That was a long time ago.
I know, but it was some people. I can't remember who the fuck people was thinking it was. They were wrong anyway. Whoever the fuck they thought it was.
I will not talk. This is a good point actually. We need to talk about this carousel, that thingy churn out. You know the same way we was talking about Monaco, but that Dortmund keep doing.
What?
In terms of players and selling.
Just like the constant turnaround with players that they get and then sell on.
Good business model. You can't compete with Bayern Munich in Germany, so you can be second. And you can have a good fucking time doing it.
You can offer him a platform, can't you? Same with like Sancho. You can come, well, same with Haaland, really. Look, you can go and showcase and you can move on.
It feels like a lot of the young stars that are emerging in football today, they've all at least played at Dortmund. Because all my, it's like...
Well, if that's by design, then fair play to Dortmund for creating that perception that you can go... I mean, Genk had it for ages, didn't they? Like, you see how many people came through Genk? Were they Hazard, De Bruyne?
Yeah.
Did Lukaku come through there?
No, he was at Anderlecht, wasn't he?
Anderlecht.
I can't remember who the fuck else has come through there. Some mad players had come through there. Like, just insane. Like fucking hell, I didn't realise he was there. But you get that reputation. Dortmund have got it on a higher scale than Genk ever had it because they're doing it at the Champions League probably. And they're doing it at a lot of stages of the Champions League. But if you can put it out there, I mean, also, they're just fucking sick at negotiating. They got Jadon Sancho for $7.5 million.
And what have they flipped that to? What did he get?
What
did he sell Hakimi for?
They didn't sell
No,
Hakimi.
because he was on loan.
Oh.
He was at Real Madrid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then...
So they made Madrid
Okay.
that money.
He was
on loan again? No, he was on loan. I think he was on loan again.
No, I thought they bought him. Inter bought him because I thought they bought him for about 35 mil.
Who?
Hakimi. They
Who
definitely Inter, and then they've just been signed from there. So but they're fucked because they got Chinese owners and they basically
fire sale. Barcelona
Reina?
are so fucked.
Because they've got that young starlet kid, the 18-year-old Reina, the American. Following after Pulisic.
Yeah, his thing is.
Because
So
what did they sell
you won't
Pulisic for?
remember
Like
his,
60 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't remember his dad, will you?
Who?
Claudio Reyna.
No.
Really?
Claudio Reina.
Is that who it is?
That's his son.
Only
yeah.
Reina I know is
Didn't
Pepe.
realise.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Pepe
I'm sure
Reina.
it's his son. Pepe Reina. Well, that's not spelled the same, but yeah, he's Spanish, isn't he?
No, but it's like, so what, have they got like a American connection, Dortmund, or
No, they probably just got, look, you make it happen with one American, and then you go back to America and sell the next American kid that dream. It's a bit more receptive to your thing, innit? Because you go, we've already done it with a guy that's come from where you are.
They're saying
Yeah, but
that.
there's a lot of Americans playing in the Bundesliga now, like youngsters.
Because MLS has put its infrastructure in right. If America ever got
Pulisic is to blame.
soccer right, if America ever got it right, and it weren't with Diana Ross missing that penalty in '94, they were never getting it right with that. But if America ever got it right, their collegiate system is pretty sick the way, and we know anyway, don't we, with how it works in terms of the professional level of coaching. John motherfuckers are paying like $150, $200 subs a month. Like it's a $5.
Listen, I'm glad you've mentioned that. Do you know Omar Sinclair and Eddie have done a bit of coaching in America just for being English and
two paddock players, basically.
Paddock players and playing football. And they've told me the rates you can get paid
Yeah, it's
to
ridiculous.
coach there. You can be from getting that range that you want.
About 100k a year. Our Chase was dropping that. It's about 100k a year. About 100k a year.
Yeah, because they take it seriously, don't they?
No, they literally.
That's what you should have in the UK, and you know the systems that you can potentially put in place.
Well, it's what we're trying to do.
This
It
is
is what
£17
we're
an hour.
ultimately trying to do.
I think they're on. I think coaches there. I think the rate Omar said is like £17 an hour or something like that.
Pretty good.
And
It's massive, though, isn't it? Because I mean, I don't know the reason why they concentrate so much on sport like that.
I don't understand why. Or for starters, I don't understand how many people are so rich in America. Whatever the fuck they're doing, there's just a bigger percentage of loaded people that have got these affiliations to the universities that they went to. Like, do you think there's any fucking trillionaires when Ashton sixth form? Right?
I don't know, but it's some Olympians.
Is there?
That somebody who won, just in this Olympics, she went Ashton sixth form.
Fair play.
that's crazy.
But if you look at the facilities, a lot of the facilities are called like the fucking Ben Adams Centre or the Ronaldo Brown Pool.
Got my own centre. Why am I not getting paid on this?
You know what I'm saying?
No, but it's mad though, because like you're saying, I'm thinking these families that are they're like 6-year-old kids says, "Oh, I want to play football today," and they'll just go out and be like, "Oh, here's 300 quid. Can you train my kid?" Where are these families getting this cash from?
No,
because they don't have no holidays. Their vacation time. Like you get, I don't know how many weeks Steve pays you holiday pay, but you should up it. But yeah, say like you get 5-6 weeks, in a normal job. Let's say they get like a week, 2 weeks.
It's not
across
mandatory.
the year.
So
no, but a lot of them
depends
don't,
on your company.
Yeah, but
a
lot of them don't even take it. So when you meet people when you're abroad and they say, "Oh, how long are you here for?" and you're like 2 weeks, and you're like, "What? 2 weeks? I'm here for like 3 days or whatever," and then got to go back to work
on a 15-hour flight. Fuck.
Well, no, because
when you're over there, you mean.
Yeah, wherever you are, and they just, I don't understand why their contract laws and labour laws is way different. I mean, ours will probably go that way.
And even with mad unions too, the mad unions that they used to have, it's amazing that they never put holiday pay in as like a legal requirement.
They don't even have. They've got proper piss poor maternity pay as well.
Wow.
Like
and
really
it costs you like $100,000 to give birth.
Oh yeah. Ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's a problem if you fucking knock up some random in England?
Yeah, but that's probably the way that's going to go here in the UK now.
It's fucked up.
What privatised healthcare?
Yeah,
fully private healthcare is not good.
Now, but I'm thinking, how so?
Unless you've got
imagine.
it.
So
it's
in America,
still the number one reason
so in
the
America,
country goes bankrupt, isn't it?
So
it's not about, am I all right? Are you all right? Is he all right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's about what can everyone do.
It's for the greater good, isn't
so
it?
is the American mentality of, oh shit, of an accident, you're on the floor now.
It's 1,500 quid if you phone an ambulance.
Your leg's facing the wrong way, but you'd rather try and treat yourself.
Yeah, you'd rather get some like wood and like try and straighten it yourself, and
rather than go.
And it depends on your insurance, doesn't it? It depends on the quality of your insurance.
But wouldn't they say the healthcare that you get in England you pay for anyway, kind of through taxes?
But they pay more in taxes for their healthcare, and then they pay private on top.
Yeah. If you haven't got a private health in America, you basically might as well
just die.
Yeah, forget it. At least you might have all the problems with the NHS.
And if you don't, let's just say you get something mad like fucking cancer or something like terminal, not even necessarily terminal. Just is it chronic when you get it
chronic,
forever?
Yeah.
Like something that needs treatment all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Let's say some sort of kidney problem or something like that, where you need like dialysis or something like that. Now, okay, cool. You now are paying like 300 grand a year. How am I doing that? Well, you owe it us. You've charged me 80 quid for paracetamol here. No, that's the rates.
Isn't that true? Like you don't actually. It's not like you got to pay. Oh, we're not doing the surgery unless you pay.
No, they do the surgery,
but
and then you just owe it.
Then you get a bill. Yeah. And so that's why people go bankrupt, because of the medical bills. They expense.
It's the number one reason people go bankrupt in America. For the Americans that have been brainwashed by Fox News to think that these people just fucking die.
If you watch Fox
got bare people watch you.
There'll be some people in the comments going, "Oh, America's healthcare is great."
If you watch Fox News, then you're going wrong straight away.
Like me and you, literally both of us we're on the same plan, aren't we? We have private healthcare, but it's on top of.
Must be nice.
It's on top of the
NHS. Well, I used it last year for my knee. I got referred by my GP. You have to go GP. Well, not all of it you need to. You can self-refer. But I went to my GP and said, "Yeah, I've got it on private health. We just send me for both my knees scanned. I only needed one scanning, but I thought you might as well while you're here." And then I had both my knees scanned, MRI. Had a video consultation, a face-to-face consultation, and I could have had surgery, leave it, or a cortisone injection. So I was going to have surgery, but they said you can't drive for 2 weeks. So I thought, all right, fuck that. So I said, I'll just try the steroid injection in my knee, which is a bit weird. Now, the steroid injection itself was only about, when I seen the bill for it, it was about 90 quid for the actual injection. But for the MRIs and everything like that, the whole bill was about 1,500 quid just for, the MRIs and getting seen soon. If I'd have done that on the NHS, I'd still be waiting now.
Yeah, you just wouldn't have got seen.
Yeah, you won't get seen because of the
that's
waiting list.
The negative side of the NHS is if you want, like, if your knee is snapped, you'd have been seen. But when you go, this hurts and I don't think it's right,
they're like, I sit and see you in a bit.
I see you in 6 months.
Yeah, well, not even 6 months. You're probably waiting 2 years.
Wow, is that long?
2 years, yeah.
That's the
That
downside.
is actually a con, because the way that the healthcare is and A&E and stuff like that in England is like when you've actually got something that isn't fairly serious, but you still feel like it needs checking and looking at unless you go there and
I got loads. That's why I got private health, so I can I'll go in there and be like, right then, you fuckers, let's get to work.
Because if you go there, unless your knee's got no mobility, it's bent the wrong way, something looks wrong, they're not gonna do anything but tell you,
so that's
here's some ibuprofen.
But guess what? Like, you could go and have a full knee reconstructed, the fucking works, and then when you leave, they go, all right, see you soon, and that's it. Like, you don't go wait for the bill and it's 400 grand, and you go, what am I going to do that?
Do they have to like set up a payment plan for that?
Yeah, they will.
Probably, yeah, I would imagine.
Is it like they set up where like it comes out of their wage every month for years?
I have no idea.
Fuck knows.
But if you're a first world country and the number one reason your citizens are going bankrupt is to stay alive, your system's wrong. Simple as that.
Yeah, and the pharmaceutical companies, they're producing like mass produce the drugs and stuff. If say it was paracetamol and you can go and buy that for like £1 or whatever, but then if suddenly loads of people come reliant on that paracetamol, let's say for example, drug companies going to say right now we're going to start charge you $2.50, and that's what they do with a lot of drugs that is so cheap to produce, but the markup on it's ridiculous because they know that that's the only drug that they can take to suppress their
I saw a bit of a scandal with a cancer drug.
So basically, the drug dealers.
But
on an industrial scale,
pharmaceutical distribution. Yeah.
There was a cancer drug which cost them, I think it was like 6p to produce. Now I understand that they have to return the research. Like the research must cost a lot of money to be able to, and obviously clinical research with the amount of testing that goes into it, I assume is quite expensive. But like I think they worked out that this company was making bazillions.
Oh yeah, did
and they were charging like 10 grand a go on some medication.
Big business, isn't it?
So the profit margin was a bit.
They said it wasn't just like making profit; it was super excessive, taking the piss level of profit.
Yeah,
like you're not just covering your costs and making profit; you're just.
But then, if you're one of the only people that provide that, you're monopolizing the situation, aren't you? And people who they need that to stay alive, well, tough shit. You got to pay for it.
Yeah. So I mean, if you've got insurance, you don't care because your insurance company is just paying for it.
Until it comes to renewal, and they fucking. Well, my renewal, because mine was through work, saying about my knee. When I left work, Dave's like, "Oh, you want to carry this on?" I said, "Yeah, go on then. How much is it?" They go, "Oh yeah, £640 a month." What? And I was like, "Nah, you're all right, mate."
Crazy though.
$640. So from being on my, because it was a work plan, like I just paid. They paid for it. I just paid the tax on it because the benefit in kind. It might have been 30-40 quid or whatever a month coming out of my salary, which you don't even notice. Yeah, $650. I was like, nah, see in a bit. So I just set up a month. Yeah, a month. Yeah, it was like, oh, that's because you had a claim, and well, I was off sick for 6 weeks, allegedly.
No, but you still got to pay for the medication you prescribed, innit?
Yeah, £750 or is it on 19 quid or something?
No, we're talking
about the prescription.
Because I remember obviously growing up as a student.
Yeah,
it's free and all that, and then as soon as you become an adult,
but it's a nominal charge. We don't charge you 150 quid for it.
Yeah, but it depends though, because
like
if you tick on that form, don't work, unless they come looking for you, which they may well do. But I know people who just.
I think say no. I'm not gonna lie. I think they have because when I've gone and obviously been honest, I feel like it's not like they've just said okay and then they give me the medication. They go on the computer and do all sorts. I don't know what they're checking.
Yeah, they probably.
But I feel like they're
probably just blagging your red light.
I feel like they have some. They might have some way of checking.
They come back and go, says you're in work. You go, I forgot
how. They won't, because of GDPR. They won't have access to that information to say whether you've got a job or not.
I don't know, man. Privacy is a bit dodgy. I don't think it's all the way it seems.
This is the NHS. Do you think they've got that sort of capability?
So
what's that? Yeah, but what
network speed either?
The NHS. What did the recently? I don't know if you saw it. There was something that you could opt in and opt out of.
Oh, that
was
the
NHS.
Yeah, that was the data getting sold to third parties.
Yes.
What?
Did you not know about that?
Yeah, but it's too late now because that deadline's gone.
I opted out already.
Yeah, no, but I'm
being a conspiracy theorist. I was all on it.
Obviously, Steve's not because he's never heard of it before.
So,
but you're automatically now like an organ donor unless you opt out.
No, I opt out of that. I don't know why either because I just don't want to do it.
Yeah,
nope.
I'm not on it either.
No, it's just a bit. It's. They didn't. It wasn't. It was someone that like had to be a story that had to be relayed for you to find out about it. Almost.
Yeah.
It was like they didn't. NHS didn't tell everyone, or here's a thing that you should opt in, opt out of. They were just hoping people wouldn't realize.
But they probably sell that data to like private health companies to then build their payment structure. Do you know what I mean? In terms of their insurance premiums that you then pay.
It's wild, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, the whole fucking point where we got started on that NHS shit was people spend 300 million to build a new fucking stadium for some college fucking baseball team. Like that culture of doing that doesn't exist in England, and that culture of.
But do you know this? We talk about the support system for them teams. They'll build that £300 million college stadium for baseball, and they'll get fucking 70,000 fans in it.
This is true, yeah, but they won't pay for it. So does college.
Yeah, but how do they? Are they those tickets? Do they have to buy them, or are they just? Are they?
I paid $45 to go watch UCLA.
Yeah, you'll have to pay to
so
watch.
It's a regular price, and we was just in the shit seats. I imagine they probably got VIP as well.
It's almost like a
70,000 fucking people there.
It's honestly like college football and college basketball at the highest level. It's like it's basically professional.
Yeah.
In terms of the caliber,
I would
and
imagine.
There's people actually follow it and watch that and support it in terms of the teams and the colleges. In like almost like a tribal sense.
But do you know what?
It's like a tribal sense, but they do it more than actual teams. So they support UCLA. Some people would support UCLA and watch their games and follow everything they do more than they'd follow the local team.
But I understand.
But the local team is just a franchise which can get taken any.
Like who got moved from LA? Was it the Raiders?
The Raiders.
The Raiders are in Compton.
Oakland. The Raiders were Oakland and
But
they've
now
gone
they're
to
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, is it
right?
Vegas?
So let's say you're in. Who was in LA?
The LA now is LA Chargers, LA Rams. But
The Rams was in St. Louis.
St. Louis, but they've gone to LA.
Yeah, so that's basically why you just get. And probably similar why there's a generation that will follow Messi to PSG.
Yeah. They got 20 million followers on Instagram yesterday.
Who?
They had 19 million. They announced Messi. They were 40 million.
Yeah, I've seen people.
I was saying with Janino, we should have signed Messi.
You joking?
No.
PSG doubled their
In a day.
because of Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is a pretty big draw, though. To be fair.
No, but I was gonna
Still
say,
wild, though.
I was gonna say like
Imagine next year because Ronaldo's contract's up, like they get Ronaldo as well.
Stop. I can't even imagine. So the
and you couldn't put it past him. I don't think Ronaldo. Would Ronaldo and PSG kind of think we've had this rivalry?
Fucking
for how
right
many
they
years?
would, yeah.
Let's just play together for the end.
Yeah, but you say rivalry is more respect, isn't it?
No, rivalry doesn't necessarily mean disrespect.
Right.
Like there's respect there.
Yeah.
But as you are saying, I can see it where they're
Mate,
saying we're both
they've just pulled
38,
fucking
yes.
Messi off, right?
Yeah.
I know that someone in a meeting today is going, get Ronaldo next season. No matter what, just get him.
Listen,
just,
doesn't matter the money.
Just get
Nah,
him.
it doesn't matter.
Imagine the money they make back.
Listen.
PSG on having
Messi, you can sign Messi on a free 18 months before we host the World Cup. Yeah, fucking hell. We'll pay him whatever he wants.
What's it? You go to guitar, don't
He's
you?
a
Like,
perfect market.
Buongiorno.
Yeah, same
Can we
way-
sign Ronaldo?
Yeah, next summer. Yeah, get Ronaldo. Fucking hell, there's your two. Both will likely to play in that World Cup as well, and they both play for your state-owned football club.
Yeah.
Seeing a bit. No matter how much money you spend
You
on
make it
marketing,
happen.
if
You're whoever at PSG, is it Leonardo? Is it Leonardo?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mate, just start fucking peeling 20s off until he fucking says yeah.
No, but I'm thinking.
But anyway, I was going to say what I was going to say about. So it makes more sense to follow the college team because your fucking franchise team can get taken away and be like, hey, we're going to Oakland.
Yeah,
later.
but they don't have like round here in terms of a semi-professional network, did he?
No,
in that
there's
sense.
like England's smaller than Texas, and there's 800 fucking teams from pro to semi-pro in that area. In the size of Texas. Texas has one MLS team. Does it have an NFL team?
Yeah, there's with Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Cowboys. Of course.
Cowboys.
And then it doesn't have a basketball team.
As like Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. Oh, it has Houston Rockets though, doesn't it? Aren't they a basketball team?
That's a basketball team. I'm talking about NFL. You're asking NFL.
Yeah.
They've got two NFL teams off the top of my head. They got Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans. Weird though, because Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans don't play in the same division or conference.
Yeah, bizarre.
Bizarre.
But then they have a big
Yeah.
sort of college thing.
Yeah.
Like Texas is like the hotbed in it of college football. There in
Yes.
Florida is kind
Texas
of the two
A&M.
spots. But it makes sense. Let's say
Do you
went
like follow
to,
all this like American sport and that?
Yeah, I follow. I honestly follow NFL and the NBA in terms of watching it. Probably just as much as I follow football, or probably even a little bit more.
I could get into the college one because
I've been trying to get him into NFL,
especially if you went to that
I can't
college.
be arsed with that.
and I think
If that's your local college, and if you went to that college, I can understand the affinity you would have for watching that college going forward. And I can, when there's only like one college and it's like a major city, I can see why they get 40, 50, 60, 70,000 sometimes.
Yeah,
It's also only 8 matches a fucking season.
Yeah, it's not a big commitment, is it?
So you can festivalize every match. That's why they tailgate for 6 hours before, because you're doing it like United had 30 some fucking home games one season. You ain't getting 6 hours on the piss for every fucking game. Like,
You know what it is? I want to know what these cities or states, as you call them in America, actually make. Because we spoke a lot about marketing. You know what's funny? When you're watching stuff like Undisputed and First Take on American sports programs, when they're mentioning teams and players going where, they mention marketing and the financial side so much. Because that is a big element, like you said. Because sports, probably 8% business, isn't it? Probably
If not.
probably a little bit more. But
It's all business, really.
I was basically looking at it as how much are these states making from the teams that play?
well, don't a lot of the cities buy the stadiums or build the stadiums? Like Las Vegas built that stadium for the Raiders to come, so they spent $1 billion. Las Vegas,
Yeah.
metropolitan,
And they're
fucking
expecting a
area.
return on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course they are, yeah.
'Cause-
Probably not like, well,
$1 billion.
Because you talk about it like how you're saying, sometimes big players, like the best players within the league in NFL or the NBA, will be less inclined to go to small market teams rather than
yeah,
big
but
teams.
But they'll be thinking about their brand as well.
But it's
from
the same in
personal
the
sense,
Premier
won't it?
League.
Yeah.
Like, United could bring Cavani here. Aston Villa was never signing Cavani. They could offer him the same, but it's the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
There's a brand associated with United that there isn't at Everton. You know what I mean? And even though, even Leicester, right? Let's have it right. They've won the league more recently than us. They're not in the same league as us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is true.
Even
So-
if they offered you the same money, you're going United, aren't you, over Leicester?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
yeah,
I
you
don't.
think so.
Yeah, you would.
And that's
You
not
think
something
so?
that never changes. That can change. Like City and Chelsea have proved that over Liverpool and Arsenal, and unfortunately, nearly ourselves, nearly us. We're still in the mix, but we won't be there forever.
For them to get to that stage, though, when they first come in, they had to
Oh yeah,
overextend
absolutely.
in terms of.
on fucking shit.
And now,
like Joe and that as well.
I think one of the reasons why City didn't maybe go more seriously for Messi is because they've got a salary cap internally, capped
Yeah.
at like 375 or something.
I think.
But as you've just said,
week.
though, like you get Messi in, the money that you lose.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's
Yeah.
because if you pay Messi that, people have in their contracts
okay.
like, right, I'm the highest player in the club, or I get parity with
Parity.
the highest player in the club.
Yeah.
So then you got to pay that, and then all of a sudden it just throws everything out of kilter. So if you're
It's
running
like
it,
Griezmann's on 800 bag a week.
yeah, if you're running it as a
Oh, because
proper
what Messi
business,
was on.
Yeah, you run out a proper business and you look at like your turnover and your outgoings and what percentage of your turnover can be spent on wages and to make you profitable or to make you break even. There's no way that.
It's about 120% wages.
Well, look, like you say, Barcelona. Look at that. Some of the players that they're paid. Somebody got rich obviously off signing them players for that amount to pay them that, but it wasn't the club. It was maybe an individual or a few individuals at that club. You'd probably think, yeah, nice one. But I say it's all down to greed, isn't it?
Well,
I wonder how the transfer is, though.
They were just completely.
What's the bank transfer like, though? Like, when City have said to Aston Villa 100 mil, where do you want it? Barclays
Well,
or
do you know when
Barclays or
United
Halifax?
signed
Is it?
Pogba? It's a 100% true
Yeah.
story. So some of you know, I was at the Lowry when United signed Pogba,
Yeah.
right? And I
Just
managed
hanging
to-
around,
to just
like the.
You know what I mean? I managed to get Jaden in. I had a selfie with him. I got Jaden a selfie with him. Lukaku and Raiola was both in the mixer as well. United, I assume, because they didn't like United fucking suits, so it was just blokes in like pink button down shirts and stuff. They were sat on the table next to me here, talking about the deal, and then when they got up to leave, they shook hands, and we was at a table right at the top of the stairs, and the guy was like, "Pleasure doing business with you." He goes, "I'll keep my phone on into the early hours," and he goes, "I'll drop you a text once the transfer's gone through." And I was like, "They're talking about £89 million."
No, but would they though? Because
It's probably about 20, wasn't it?
yeah, they're all structured, aren't they? Because like you look at Sancho, what we're going to pay 15 mil per season, which is nothing.
What bank holds? Can you actually hold that kind of money? And it must be a different.
These like you have obviously you got your
not a
bank.
high street bank.
You
Yeah.
got your high street banks, and you got all these private banks
that for the rich.
yeah, but then you'll have obviously from a business side of things because that's what it's a holding.
Yeah.
Like Manchester United, whatever it is.
Yeah.
On there. They don't work on normal levels, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I reckon what do you reckon's in that account?
Probably very little. It'll just be working capital.
Okay.
Because they won't keep those sort of funds on deposit. It does not make financial sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
I was going
And
to say
it'd probably be tied.
It
It'd probably be tied up in like bonds or whatever.
But there will be a card for it, won't there? Or there'll be
yeah.
company cards related.
Yeah.
But it won't be like one access card.
No,
like,
no,
you
yeah.
just
Yeah.
Swipe 100 million
Fucking
for
hell.
someone on it. There you go. Jack
Yeah.
Grealish, bosh.
Go on a night out. Like you have all these expenses.
You got to rub it. Just wipe the chip a bit. Try it again. 100 mil. Yeah.
Probably made out of gold itself.
Hang on. How much is that? 1,000,000.
But that's what all clubs do. City want to pay, I doubt City would have paid 100 million up front. No way. It just doesn't make sense for him. No matter how much money you've got, why would you do it? Don't matter.
Oh, so a lot of deals paid like that installments, really.
Yeah,
never,
then
man.
you look at like the transfer dealings is so you then budget that in for the next however over the term of the contract.
Yeah, you get to to put the spend of it over the length of the contract that you give the player. So that's why they give the player 4 or 5 year deals, obviously to tie him in and keep his asset high, but also because that's what you're sharing the sort of cost out on your books. Which is a weird thing.
Look what happened with Pjanic and Arthur. Like that's just a mad deal. That Pjanic don't even play, does he? For Barca.
Didn't they swap him?
Yeah, they swapped him, but that was to do an accounting transaction to make it look like the books were balanced.
So they bought him for 100 mil or whatever it was, and he bought him for 100 million, and nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
But they get to put an asset over the books for 5 years.
Exactly, and that was going on like the previous year's accounting.
No wonder they're $1 billion in debt when they're doing crackhead accounting like that.
Yeah, but they should have known, but they probably would have known, not last year, but even a year or two before that. Shit, we're gonna have a problem here when it comes to.
Well, you know the whole reason Barcelona are in the shit. Oh, well, I mean, there's several reasons they're in the shit. Yeah. One of them is that they're $1 billion in debt. They lost 400 million last year. Yeah. That's over $1 million a day. That's fucked up.
That's mad when you think of it like
that. Every day.
But that's just related.
Today's Tuesday. Yeah, we lost $1 million. What?
Yeah. But that's
and aren't they responsible for like 4 of the 5 most expensive transfers as well in football history?
Yeah, but on that, like obviously Premier League gets a lot of a bad rep, but the majority of the most expensive players are not from Prem to Prem clubs. It's from La Liga and Serie A, isn't it? Buying from maybe Premier League or wherever. The top 10, I think Grealish only just about gets in the top 10, doesn't he?
Basically,
if he does that all.
Barcelona bought Coutinho, Dembele, a few players for well over 100 million.
They've had a crackhead in charge of accounting. Honestly, like it's been so fucked up the way they do it. So the reason that they've got to just yard all the players off 2 years ago, based on La Liga's got a salary cap, but by the sounds of it, it's not a restrictive usually salary cap. It's like they had 600 million euros in their salary cap, and I don't think they even hit it. Even paying Messi $2.5 million a week, they weren't even hitting their salary cap, so it wasn't a problem. They're just under it, and they're going bananas, and they're not even touching their salary caps. This is 2 seasons ago. Last season it dropped by like 10%, so it's still cool. Didn't probably sign anyone, I don't think, last summer, did they? But like also COVID, not a problem. But then because of all of these losses started to hit. Like these TV deals have been restructured and all the rest of that. They made a loss of 400 million. Their salary cap went from like 560 million euros to 138. So that's the salary cap that they've got to work with next season. So one of the restrictions of that salary cap is you can't sign any new fucking players, or you can't register any new players. So Memphis, Aguero, every fucker that is signed, you ain't getting registered until you're under 137 million. Now, they did agree a contract with Messi. I've seen loads of people going, if you love the fucking club, he'd stay there for free. He was on so much dough. He actually couldn't because he'd left the club because his contract expired. So when they give him a new contract and go to register him, he can't be registered until that salary cap comes down to 100.
And didn't he agree, like he did agree a salary deferral, wasn't it? So it was the back end that he would get paid that money back when they would have been back in a better situation.
Which the league also said, you're trying to cook the books, you can go fuck yourself.
But that's what everyone's doing.
Yeah, but that's what they've said. So they can't even, there's a real chance.
Yeah, basically, I think even if they sold a player for 100 million, they could only allocate like 25 million of that to new player sales to buy.
It's the wage bill. It's the wage bill that's stopping them registering anyone.
Well, Aguero's out until November now, isn't he?
Now, on this, there is supposedly, and this is a conspiracy, we got into a conspiracy in the end.
Yeah.
There is supposedly a clause in his contract, which is because he's been an injury-prone player, hasn't he? I think it's fair to say. There's a clause in his contract that if he's injured for a certain number of weeks, his contract can be cancelled by Barcelona.
They'll be exercising that right.
Well, they might be, yeah. And
Well,
but I think he wants out.
they only bought Aguero into play to appease Messi, wasn't it? Or one
So
of them.
I think he's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Is your conspiracy that this injury may or may not actually be an injury?
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Something that
I think Aguero's trying to get out of his Barcelona contract.
Well, yeah, I've seen that he don't want to be there. Well, I want to be there, to be fair.
I'm going to come here for Messi. Not only am I not going to be here for Messi,
Listen, where does he go?
You're probably going to be selling loads more.
Where does Aguero go though? If he actually
We'll just go back home now, won't we?
to Argentina?
Yeah. Probably thinks, fuck it now. You know what I mean?
not gonna get a
City's all-time leading goal
Probably
scorer.
not going to get a game
One
at
bare
Paris,
trophies
is it?
there. Nah,
I was going to say,
He'd be
PSG
third
will
choice
be
behind
sniffing at that.
Icardi and...
Nah, where can PSG can't get any more players in.
If they
in
bring
that team.
Aguero in on a free as well, this is honestly, I've never had a summer like this even when I was cheating on Footy Manager.
Yeah.
Like, never
I wouldn't
seen a
put it
summer
past
like
them.
this. Never seen a summer like this. And then Ronaldo next year, yo, fuck off. Scenes when they come second to Lille. Oh, if that happens again.
'Cause I don't think Aguero will be that asked about playing that much though as well.
As long as
Because
he's hanging out with Messi.
yeah, obviously he's a legend already in it. So it's like
I don't.
Yeah,
United
he's
still.
done. He's probably.
I don't at United.
You'd have him at United.
Yeah, I go pick him up.
oh yeah, I forgot Aguero's like the one rival player he actually rates for some
I like
reason.
Yaya Toure as well.
Yeah,
Yes, Aguero. Yeah, I mean his records are ridiculous.
And I kind of like
Ridiculous.
Yaya Toure because City fans don't like him, so that helps. I don't know why I don't like it. It was the best midfield you've ever had, you fucking dickheads. Like, get a fucking grip.
yeah.
This is why you know they're shit and spoiled. They don't know world class players when they fucking see them. And they think they still think King Clads is world class. Shut up. Go watch Yaya Toure and King Clads
Yeah,
and get
Yaya
back to me, you
Toure's
fucking dickheads.
To be fair, like
I think City.
I can't believe. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say I think City fans and how shit they are has basically been represented by in Manchester. It seems like Manchester City players and footballers are much more able and comfortable to walk around the city, do normal things, go to clubs, normal places, without getting that mired. Whereas as a United player, you don't get that same luxury.
Nah.
And I've always thought, why is that? Why is that?
I saw Vincent Kompany and John Lewis. No one mired him in the slightest. This
United
is at
players.
peak. This is peak. Like, this is 5-6 years ago when he was the fucking captain and the fucking daddy and everything. He'd already won the league.
Trying to claim that they're too cool for it.
But why is that? Is that just a fan
They're
base
just not
thing?
numerous enough for it.
Nah. I don't know.
The fan base thing, but like just the big players for a big, well, I suppose a big club now in Manchester City. But
How many people turn up for the Jack Grealish unveiling?
More than they first looked at on that photograph, I think.
They look pretty bad. That to be
Someone, because obviously Paddock FC's I've got a list for it on TweetDeck, so when someone mentions us, I see it. And someone had put, like, at Paddock FC, get more at their fucking games. This is a piss take. I was like, it's true, to be fair.
I mean, yeah,
on the picture that they shown, which is that front on.
I mean, it's a bit weird because he had already played for money.
Yeah.
And then do the unveiling, it just doesn't make real sense now. No. But yeah, it's like if we did it for Varane now, pointless, isn't it?
No, he's not played for us as yet, so it's still work.
It feels like he's been here for ages now.
Right, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to leave this with a question for the audience. Why is Phil Jones still here?
Is he actually here?
I saw his outfit as well for the Ivy.
What was he wearing?
It's terrible. Well, bomber jacket, going wrong. He looked like a defeated man though. So I don't know.
I seen him in a picture. He played golf, didn't he, when he was in Scotland last week?
He can't play. He'd be like me playing golf.
Nah, I reckon he's got to be mint at golf. Do you know what I mean? The amount of time he spent on the golf course.
Yeah, I imagine he loses a lot of balls though. Proper golf Tourette's. Anyway, cheers for tuning in. Make sure you give these lads a follow, and we'll see you next week. Get some questions and that in. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.